What's up, guys? It's your boy OG back with another Become a Hustler 365 podcast and video. So today is Monday, August 10th, and another beautiful day in Mexico. And it's about, I don't know, right before dinner time. I'm about to run and grab dinner right now, spend some time with the family. And I started to think, let me just make sure that I'm actually getting the audio here, right? These are things that you should do ahead of time, but again, we not stressing right now. We just flowing freestyle. So what I want to talk with you about today. Today, you know, was an interesting day. It's the beginning of the week. I planned for it. And there's the saying, man makes plans and God laughs. And there's so many sayings like that. But basically, you make plans, but you've got to remain flexible, recognizing that there's a good chance that plans don't always go according to plan. So it started messed up last night. I was ready. I did my push-ups. I got in the bed at, I think it was like 10 after 10, which again, those of you who know me, there's only 2 times I go to bed around 10 o'clock. In high school and when I'm sick. And on this new journey, right? So it's been something that, I'm really proud of, that I've actually been making the shift to more consistently have a bedtime that gives me the type of energy that I need and allows me to be healthier. This has kind of been, like I said, the last month, a little bit of a wake-up call and a health tip. I'm still under 40, and I would say that I'm in mediocre health, but I've never had anything really like hindering me or something that like is sitting me down and saying you need to pay attention, right? At least nothing that I'm aware of yet. Definitely could lose, 20 plus pounds, could have higher energy, could be eating a little bit more consistently and better. But for the most part, the last 7 years have been relatively the same. No major shifts in health, quality of life because of health. But in the last month, again, like I said, I started experiencing this weird dizziness. And I probably should go get it checked out, and I plan on it. COVID has a interesting control on most of our lives right now. And so I'm playing doctor, and I'm realizing that when I get good sleep, I'm okay. And when I don't get good sleep, I kind of do have this lingering kind of dizziness, right? So it's been good. I started going to sleep and I started walking every day, and I started feeling a lot better. But then I started cheating and going to bed late again, and it came back. So last night I said, what? I spent the weekend consulting with some medical people and some body biohackers and stuff like that, and began to figure out what might be going on and how I can adjust my diet and my lifestyle. And we'll talk. This is going to come circle around about why traveling is really good for business. But in the process of doing that, I hit the bed at 10. And of course, no sooner did I do that, I had kids waking up, coming in the room, like, I don't know, like all night. Now, I don't know, some of you are parents, you know how that is. We're in a new house, and I think that there's some anxiety about the house and where they sleep relative to where we sleep and things like that. Anyways, I was up most of the night, and it really messed up my sleep, man. And so today, my day was kind of messed up. I didn't feel great. I didn't have good energy. My head was not feeling right. And so it was one of those days where I said, you know what? As much as this has become a hustler, 365, I'm not one of those sleep when you die, hustle till you die people. Everything I do is for my family. And so if I'm not able to be here, and be healthy for them, then what's the point? So, um, and then of course, because the kids had a rough night's sleep, there was some other drama with the kids that was going on. So I had to kind of pay attention to them and my health today. And I still did get to work, and I still got busy, but it just wasn't with the energy that I expected to, right? Um, but the cool thing is we were able to do it, and my wife and I were able to have a meeting in the middle of the day and talk about the kids' schooling and their schedule and hiring tutors for them for different subjects. And I just thought it was so cool that I was able to do that and not be stressed out about my goal. Now, my goal is still my goal. It's still my goal, but I wasn't stressed out about it. And I want to talk with you a little bit about why that is. So today, I want to talk a little bit about why traveling is great for business, right? Or great for starting a business. And so today, I'm just going to run through a few points. Again, you know how I do it. Didn't put a lot of deep thought into this. But I'm going to speak from my heart, so hopefully the message still gets there. So we moved to Mexico a little over a year ago. I don't say we moved, but we've been traveling back and forth, and we got a lease here, and we got a place, and we've been operating out of here for a little while. And we always get the question, why did you move to Mexico? Or why travel? Because honestly, when we left America, our goal wasn't necessarily to be in Mexico. It was to do some traveling, and we still plan on doing that. But Mexico's where we're at right now. And so this can apply to basically anywhere that you live, right? So why is moving to another country great for business? And the first reason I would tell you why moving to another country is good for business is that the biggest one, right? It lowers your personal and your family cost of living while maintaining a pretty good quality of life. So no, we don't live in a mansion here. It's not like one of those YouTube house tour houses that make you go, oh my God. But we were able to get a house here that meets our needs and allows us to do business, allows us to do school, allows the kids to have some recreation as it's COVID and they can be outdoors, and able to do that at a price that does not force me to be locked in or tied to work in a way that when things go crazy, I can't take a day off, right? Or I can't take half a day off. It allows you to have a higher quality of life without a high cost of living. So that's really good. The second one I would say is safety and peace of mind. So this all depends on where you live, but wherever you live, you pick a safe place. You don't have to worry about it. Wife and the kids can go walk into a market. They can hop in an Uber and go anywhere, just about any time of day. And I can be doing what I'm doing and have zero concern or stress added to me about how they're living, right? Same with at night when I put my head on a pillow. I feel relatively safe no matter where I am, all right? So that's another reason. Safety, peace of mind, right? Because you can increase your quality of life and lower your cost of living, you have more money to play with. So I would say that I don't have the buttons flying across here with our income for everything. We'll do a video like that, I'm sure, maybe on this channel, maybe on another one. But I will say this. Sorry, bug trying to get in the window. I will say this. I would say our fixed costs are under a monthly is probably under $1,300 a month. I'm just doing a rough cost of rent, electricity, internet, gas, transportation, food. Somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400 a month, right? Maybe $1,500 if we're feeling like we're luxurious this month. There's a lot more money to play with. There's a lot more money to do things with. There's a lot of money to save, right? And if you're a business owner and you want to start a business, there's a lot more money to invest in your business. So if you need a marketing budget of $300 a month or $500 a month to generate leads and traffic, one of the easiest ways to create that is move to a place where your fixed costs are lower, or where you can get your fixed cost lower. You can have high fixed costs here as well, but you have the option, right? And we could get a lot lower than this, I think, as well. But then you start losing comfort and increasing stress, and what's the point of that, right? So I'd say that we're somewhere in the middle in terms of how we live. So it allows you to really like allocate resources towards a business, right? One of the biggest things, difficulties about starting a business in the United States is you need runway, you need burn, right? Like you need to have a burn rate, and sometimes depending on where you live, you need to have a pretty high burn rate. And then if you want to have any decent cost of living, send your kids to a good school, eat food that doesn't kill you in a week, you've got to actually live in a neighborhood where your burn rate is pretty high. I remember talking to my brother once about his cost of living. My younger brother, his burn rate in the city, I'd say a middle tier city in terms of cost of living, and it was ridiculous. It's hard to start a business and hire trainers and hire people engineers and stuff like that, when you're pouring all your money into just surviving, right? And it also increases your stress. And if your stress is high, then it's very difficult for you to be able to produce or to perform. So let's race through the rest of these. It allows you to focus on family priorities. So some of you, if you build a business, if you have a family, you don't want to, you're constantly taught that you have to let the family go to the back. You got to work 60 to 80 hours a week, and your family kind of gets the leftovers. Well, that's difficult for workaholics like myself as well, but again, if you can lower your cost of living, then you can afford to go out and spend some time doing certain things, because you don't need the money to live right now, right? You need the money. You have enough money, enough burn rate for your business, and so you can elevate family if that's a priority of yours. Experiment, right? So if you have more money, it allows you to experiment guilt-free, right? So what I'm doing right now, this is just one of the business experiments that I'm doing, and I do it knowing that it's really not burdening me much at all, right? So again, it doesn't cost me very much to start a business experiment, and I can comfortably allocate whatever resources are necessary, knowing that it's not going to impact my family's quality of life. They're not going to say, hey, where's the money for the bills? The bills are paid for upfront, well in advance, or they're set aside in a bank account, so that you've got at least 6 to 12 months of runway, and you're good. And you can experiment, and you can try different things. And everybody who starts a business knows, a lot of times, the business that you start is not the business that succeeds, right? It's kind of like this. You might pivot this way, pivot that way. And so this gives you the runway to experiment, just by living in a different country and having a lower cost of living and a higher quality of life. Also, I'd say the last thing is it allows you to develop new perspectives, right? So I believe Starbucks was started because he was taking a trip through Italy, and he saw how people were eating at these cafes, and it allowed him to imagine what that gathering spot would look like if it was in the United States. Traveling is a great way to see what is proven in terms of human behavior and trends that could be transported to a different country or a different environment and be successful, right? There's also opportunities, depending on if you live in a country and you're not just visiting and you have residency, for you to start businesses in that local city. I would say co-working spaces here are pretty cheap. Office space, commercial space here is really cheap compared to what you might be used to in the States. And so, there's opportunities to network with people and find out new perspectives and get ideas about products or the way that people live, because when something is novel to somebody, it's normal to someone else, right? And so adding those perspective dimensions to yourself can allow you to better come up with creative ideas, better figure out how your business can pivot, and you just never know where that leads to. So that's a brief video and podcast about why moving to another country is great for business and why moving to Mexico has been great for me. I look forward to experimenting with many ideas and businesses and doing it without incurring debt, without having higher levels of stress. You know, one of the things I was researching about my health, it said that the symptoms I was experiencing were due to too much stress, right? And hormonal, cortisol and adrenaline and things like that. I'll get into on another video. But immediately it's like, I don't have to stress here. It's very difficult for me to spend the money I have here, and if I keep checking my bank account, it looks like we're not spending that much money because we're not spending that much money. So it's just one of those things that I think, I just wanted to talk about today, because today wasn't a day where I had a really great report about the business that I did. But what affects the personal affects the professional. And so I thought I would just share that with you guys. A little bit of a longer video today, but thank you so much for hanging with me. I look forward to seeing you guys on another video and you guys listening to me on another podcast. I appreciate all the love I've been seeing so far. Hit the like button, subscribe. I don't even know what the link is for my podcast to subscribe, and I'm not putting it in the description yet. It'll come soon enough. But for those of you who have made a comment or liked it or subscribed or left an encouraging comment, I appreciate it. If you have a video you'd like me to check out, leave it in the comments. I'll check it out. I'll like it. I'll subscribe. I'll give you feedback. And I look forward to hearing from you guys as well. Take care. I'll let you later. And this has been amazing. The video and the podcast has not been interrupted yet. So this has been an amazing day. I look forward to seeing you guys later. Peace.